So let's talk about stress fracture. So I am giving you example of tibial stress fracture. Tibial stress fracture. So people usually initially develop medial tibial stress syndrome. Stress syndrome before having fracture, and it is also called shin splints. And in this there is no tibial tenderness, but if there is fracture, then if there is tibial tenderness and there may be swelling as well. And further activity, if patient develops this stress syndrome and if there is further ongoing activity, then it can cause progression to complete or incomplete fracture. And if there is fracture, there is resulting tibial tenderness and palpation. Okay, and there may be swelling. A stress fracture is diagnosed clinically when there is pain at a specific area that increases with jumping or running and is associated with local swelling and point tenderness on examination. Okay, did you got or not? Okay, so now initial plane x-ray of tibia has low sensitivity and are negative during first few weeks in over half of cases. Okay, and possible abnormalities on x-ray may take up to 4 weeks to become apparent and include bone sclerosis, cortical thickening, periosteal elevation, okay, and visible fracture line. If initial x-ray is negative, patient may be managed empirically based on clinical findings. So patient may be managed empirically based on clinical findings. However, if definitive diagnosis is needed, MRI is preferred over bone scan. Or ultrasound, as it can show the fracture line that extends through the cortex into the medullary line. Okay, medullary line. And MRI can also identify ligament, muscle and cartilage injury. However, MRI findings may be persistently abnormal for up to 1 year after stress fracture has healed. So you should also note this finding. Okay. However, MRI findings may be persistently abnormal for up to 1 year after the stress fracture has healed. Most patients may resume full initial intensity exercise within 12 weeks, but the program may need to be delayed if patient develops recurrent pain. Okay, so let's write it down. Most patients may resume full intensity exercise within 12 weeks, but the program of rehabilitation may need to be delayed if patient develops recurrent pain. Okay, so let's summarize now. Tibial stress fractures are common in athletes and non-athletes who suddenly increase their physical activity, and clinical features there may be pain, localized tenderness and swelling, and plain X-ray is less than 50% sensitive for stress fracture, especially in the first 2 to 3 weeks after the onset of symptoms. And most stress fractures can be managed with conservative treatment like pneumatic splinting, reduced weight bearing with graduated exercise program, and crutches are advised in the first 1 to 2 weeks to minimize weight bearing, and rehabilitation regimen may be scheduled over 8 to 12 weeks, but the exercise intensity should be reduced and the regimen prolonged if patient has recurrent symptoms during treatment. Okay, so treatment is pneumatic splinting, reduced weight bearing and graduated exercise program, and most patients may resume full intensity exercise within 12 weeks, but the program may need to be delayed if patient develops recurrent pain. Okay, that's all for stress fracture.